This could make the Boston Celtics unstoppable, as Payton Pritchard has stepped up for the Boston Celtics in significant games and stepped up tremendously in the Boston Celtics game tonight versus the Dallas Mavericks, where the Celtics got a victory 119 to 110. We'll be breaking down this post-game analysis, looking at how fantastic the Jays were and looking at how Payton Pritchard could be a great piece for this bench unit. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, but before we dive into any Boston Celtics content, I would like to say that roughly right around 80% of our viewers are not subscribed, and would greatly appreciate it if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and joined the Celtics Digest family. We can't thank everyone enough that's already smashed that subscribe button and gotten to our goal of 3,000 subscribers. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date on daily Boston Celtics content and help us get to our goal of 4,000 subscribers, hit that subscribe button, as you definitely will not regret it. But let's dive into this Boston Celtics postgame. So make sure to grab a snack, as this is going to be a fantastic one. As we can see, the Celtics secure back-to-back wins in back-to-back nights, as they had a nice trip in Texas. They played the Houston Rockets last night with no Al Horford. Kristaps Porzingis had a big game for the Boston Celtics, and tonight with no Kristaps Porzingis, the Celtics got it done versus a fantastic Dallas Mavericks team. This game was back and forth early on. The Boston Celtics in the first quarter had a very tight game, but in the second quarter, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum really woke up for this Boston Celtics team and started dominating for this unit. They were shooting from all different angles. Jayson Tatum hitting some big time threes, scoring in the post, scoring while driving. Jaylen Brown really attacking that paint, and they were making some free throws for the Boston Celtics as well. We also saw big games from Payton Pritchard, which we'll be breaking down in a little bit as well, and how he has had some big improvements for the Boston Celtics on the defensive side of the ball, making some shots and being a great playmaker as well. The Boston Celtics then had a pretty close third and fourth quarter where they were missing some tough free throws late in the game, but the Boston Celtics get it done, led by a Jayson Tatum 11-point fourth quarter in a dominant fashion in a great win. So let's look at the team stats. As you guys can see, the Celtics shot about 46% to the Mavericks 44%, with the Celtics shot worse from three, shooting around 32% compared to the Mavericks 35%, which they were out shooting the Mavericks in the beginning of the game. The Celtics only had one three-pointer in the first quarter, finished with 6 in the second, which was their best quarter of the night. They also did outshoot the Mavericks in free throw shooting. It was pretty close towards the end. It was very close, but shooting 73% is not that great as well, because they did miss some key free throws late. The rebounding was also around the same. The Mavericks getting more offensive rebounds, the Celtics getting more defensive rebounds on a lot of missed Mavericks threes. Mavericks were taking a lot of shots 4-5 out, where the Celtics were able to get some nice rebounds as they were coming right to them. The Boston Celtics also out-assisted the Mavericks 26-24, getting 4 more blocks, 3 more steals, 4 less turnovers. The Mavericks did have 10 more points in the paint compared to the Celtics, but the Celtics, and they also had the same amount of personal fouls. If we want to look at the individual stats, like I mentioned, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown absolutely cooked up. Last night, they did not have the greatest scoring nights, even though Jaylen Brown did finish with a triple-double. They both were very unsuccessful from the scoring, and Derrick White and Kristaps Porzingis were their main scorers. Tonight, they were the two main attractions. Jayson Tatum, 11 for 21 from the field, 11 points in the fourth quarter, 2 for 8 from 3, not the greatest, but 15 from 19 from the free throw, getting to the line, 11 total rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and 39 points. Jaylen Brown also 13 for 22 from the field with 2 for 7 from 3, 6 for 9 from free throw with 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 34 points. Derrick White, not a great shooting night after last night, lost all his magic, 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3 with 6 total points, but 4 total rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block, doing all the intangible things. Al Horford, again, when he steps up into the starting lineup, he has his best stats. He does it again, 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, hitting some big threes from the Celtics, 8 total rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 11 points. And Jrue Holiday got some shots down late in the game. Wasn't having the greatest shooting percentages in the beginning, but 6 for 13 from the field, 5 for 12 from 3 with 7 rebounds and 6 assists, finishing with 17 points is what you like to see as well. Sam Hauser off the bench, not starting tonight for the Boston Celtics, did all right and played some good defensively. Luke Kornet, also a very great defensive game, had a big offensive rebound right there as his 1, but 5 total rebounds with 4 defensive and 1 block with 2 points. Looking like a solid defender for the Boston Celtics and looking like he could be a great backup big. But like I mentioned, the guy I want to talk about and the guy that can make the Celtics unstoppable is Payton Pritchard. Now, Payton Pritchard, even though he was 2 for 7 for the field, 1 for 4 from 3, not the greatest shooting stats, only finishing with 5 points, you can see that plus 16 right there on his plus minus, and resulting in 25 minutes as well, playing the most from the bench tonight. He had an impactful game for the Boston Celtics, finishing with 7 total rebounds, 1 offensive rebound, 6 total assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. It was really helping really helping out on the defensive side of the ball as a guard. It was really helping this team push. He also had a nice 3 in the corner and was just being a really great role player tonight for the Boston Celtics. And if he can pick up this pace, I know we've seen him shot chuck and not make a lot of shots, and those 5 points with all those other stats makes it look very impressive. He didn't have the greatest shooting night, but if he can keep up the way that he's playing, the Boston Celtics have a legitimate backup point guard alongside their unit. They have 3 total guards with Jrue Holiday and Derrick White in the starting lineup, and they will not be looking for a guard at the trade deadline. I believe that Payton Pritchard would warm up and be comfortable in this role, and he's starting to get comfortable, as we've seen in the last couple of games, him be a solid backup point guard for the Boston Celtics. Just last week versus the Milwaukee Bucks, he dropped 21 points, being the highest scoring point total in that game, and even though the Boston Celtics rested their starters in the second half and were getting blown out in that game, that's very impressive to see from Payton Pritchard. We also saw him have 19 total points last weekend on last Saturday when the Rockets played the Boston Celtics, and even though the Celtics rested all their starters in the fourth quarter, it was still nice to see Payton Pritchard do solid in that game as well. So you love to see Payton Pritchard, even though it was deemed garbage time, it is nice to see him get his shining moments and look like a great backup caliber point guard for this team, and looking like a great playmaker and looking like a solid defender as well with this unit. If we want to look at this Mavericks team, we can talk about some great pieces as well. Kyrie Irving finished with 23 points. Luka Doncic is just absolutely insane. A 33-point triple-double with 18 points and 13 assists, hitting some big-time shots, even though he got absolutely dropped by Jaylen Brown, which was absolutely fantastic from the Boston Celtics as well. Tim Hardaway hit some big-time threes, had 15 total points in the second quarter, was the only really momentum shift for the Dallas Mavericks to keep them alive in that second quarter. But like I mentioned, Jaylen Brown crossing up Luka Doncic was an impact moment as well in the second quarter. Jaylen Brown really controlling this pace for the Celtics team, really being a dominant force on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball. Jayson Tatum taking control in the fourth quarter, scoring 11 points alongside Jaylen Brown as well. Hitting some big-time threes, also attacking the rim and getting a lot of free throws as well, and being a big-time menace in the paint for the Boston Celtics. And this is fantastic for the Boston Celtics. After that loss to the Denver Nuggets and losing that home win streak, I was a little bit upset. I know that they weren't going to keep it forever, but it was just tough to see. But after the Celtics bounce back and get this big-time win, it is looking great for this team. They take on the Miami Heat in a big-time matchup on Thursday night, where the Celtics will have Kristaps Porzingis back, and it will be a big-time matchup on TNT. And then they take on the Clippers on Saturday. So the Celtics have some 2 tough matchups long down the road this week, and we'll have more coverage to break those down as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this Celtics game, as the Celtics get a nice win versus the Dallas Mavericks, 119-110. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.